They told us Columbus discovered America. But how can you discover a land where millions of people were already living? What if I told you the story you learned in school is only half true and the darker half was left out? Today, we dive into the real story of Christopher Columbus, not the hero in textbooks, but the man whose actions changed history in ways schools rarely admit. In school, Columbus is celebrated as the brave explorer who set sail in 1492, crossed the Atlantic, and discovered a new world. But the truth? He never set foot in what we call the United States today. His voyages only reached islands in the Caribbean and parts of Central and South America. To the millions of Native Americans already living across these lands for thousands of years, this wasn't a discovery. It was an invasion. Christopher Columbus was an ambitious Italian sailor, funded by Spain's monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella. His mission wasn't to explore for fun or curiosity. It was business. Spain wanted a shortcut to Asia, spices, and trade routes. Columbus promised gold, riches, and converts to Christianity. But when he didn't find Asia, he set his sights on something else, exploiting the people and land he encountered. Columbus's journals tell us he was fascinated by the native people. At first, he described them as generous and kind. But then he wrote something chilling. They would make fine servants. And that is exactly what happened. Columbus and his men enslaved thousands of indigenous people, forcing them to work in mines, fields, and even sending some back to Spain in chains. Those who resisted, many were killed. Entire communities were wiped out, not just from violence, but also from diseases brought from Europe, which Native Americans had no defense against. So why didn't we learn this in school? For centuries, Columbus was turned into a national hero, especially in the United States. His story was simplified into a tale of bravery and discovery, used to inspire patriotism. Even Columbus Day became a holiday, celebrated every October. But behind the parades and flags, the suffering of Native Americans was erased from the story. Today, historians and indigenous voices are working to correct the record. That's why many states in the U.S. no longer celebrate Columbus Day. Instead, they honor Indigenous Peoples Day, remembering the original inhabitants of this land and the struggles they endured. This doesn't mean erasing history. It means telling the full history. Columbus changed the world forever, but not always for the better. So the next time you hear Columbus discovered America, remember, discovery for one side meant destruction for another. What do you think? Should Columbus still be remembered as a hero? Or should schools finally teach the truth? Let me know in the comments. This was What Schools Don't Teach You. Subscribe for more hidden history.